Are you thinking of making a big change in your life?
Hi, it's Kim.
Hi, it's Christine.
We are here to help you make change. But before we start, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so that you're the first one to know when we have new videos available. Often there's a big change coming, and we know we have that passion, want to do it, but is the rationale behind it? Are we having all the tools to really go through the process and establish if that's the right change at that moment for us?
I love how you said passion and you also said abilities. Like, can we make this happen? The second thing that I want to talk about is the power of your gut instinct. So, gut instincts are formed over time and they're a combination of your experiences since you were born. So, everything from when you were born until now is what creates that feeling of like butterflies or uneasiness in the pit of your stomach whenever you're going to make a big decision or even a little decision, like whether to go right or left when you're at the end of the street. So if you're about to make a big decision, really take time to figure out what your gut has to say about this. Does your gut feeling say, yes, this is right? Or is there a little piece that says, no, it's not? It's either a hell yes or a hell no. So if there's a little piece of your gut that's saying, I don't know about this, then it's a hell no. Whereas if everything that you're looking at and if your gut is like, yes, this is what I want to do, this is right for me, then it becomes a hell yes. And that's one part of, seeing if there's a green light to go ahead.
And the important thing to know is that it's not because it's a hell no now that it's not going to be a hell yes later.
Mm-hmm.
It can just not be the right time for that change, right? So maybe right now it's a hell no for moving, but in 2 years, if your kids are older, you have lost your job or there's anything that changed in your situation, it can become a hell yes. So just be in touch with yourself and what your gut feeling is telling you. The other thing you can do too is look at the impact. Is that choice impacting only you? Is this choice impacting people around you? And is it a positive impact or a negative impact? So you're never going to get a situation where it's all positive, all negative. At the end of the day, you kind of have to balance itself. So I'll give an example of moving. So I was a military wife, so we did a lot of move, right? And obviously those moves are not always our choice, but at the end of the day, you think this is impacting the kids, this is impacting my spouse employment, but at the same time, my kids are building resilience, my kids are getting new experience, my kids will live in another country and have that experience that not a lot of people have. So you have to be open enough to look at the positive, negative, and then you choose based on your value if it's worth it.
I like that. So the way that you can do what Kim's talking about is by having a pro-con list. So you can do this with anything. You can do this with like whether you're figuring out to break up with somebody or you're trying to figure out whether or not to accept a job or move across the country. What you do is you have a list of pros and a list of cons. So you write down everything and then you give them a weight. So you can give them like 1 as in not very important, 2 kind of important, 3 like really, really important to me. And so weight each of your pros and weight each of your cons, and at the bottom add up the totals. And that will really show you what side you're leaning on based on the facts and what's going on.
What I want you to know too is that if you're thinking about a change, usually there's a need that's not met or there's something going on. So just be very honest with yourself on why you want to do that change. Are you trying to escape something or are you trying to grow as a person? So I will give an example of separation. Okay. Why do you want to separate? Do you want to separate because you're just tired and you're exhausted all the time? Or do you want to separate because this relationship now is not bringing you to be your best self anymore? It's not suiting your need. This is two different things. A lot of people separate while they're just having a mild depression or they're just feeling a lot of anxiety. that there's 1,000 things that could be done to, reciprocate that love and bring people back. Obviously, it's not the case for everyone, but by knowing why you want that change and assessing it on a personal level, you'll know, if that change is really what you need.
Another thing you can do is talk to somebody that really cares about your interests and it's kind of seen what you've gone through over the years. So one of the things that I do, and it's kind of a painful experience because you'll understand why when I talk about it, but whenever I have like a big idea or something I want to do, I tend to consult my brothers. And the reason being is because they're always going to be like, well, what happens if it doesn't work? Or what happens if this happens? Like, or I don't think this, and you have to, like, whenever I talk to them, I have to defend my reasoning for what I'm about to do. So find somebody who kind of knows who you are and will ask you those tough questions so you can defend your reasoning. Like after that call, it might kind of irk you a little bit because you've got to defend what you're doing, but it can be really beneficial when making a big decision because it'll force you to think about things and go, well, I don't have an answer to that, or you're right, this might backfire, or I might not be ready, or this might not be the right time. And you have to face those difficult realities sometimes. It's my least favorite part of this process, but it's an important part of this process.
I love that, bringing different perspective, right? The other thing I want to say is if the big change doesn't suit you now, look for small change you can do. So I'll give an example of you're not happy in your professional life, okay? But moving across the country right now, it's definitely not the right thing to do for you for another job, or switching employer because maybe the employment market is not as its best. It's okay to look at other positions within your organization, or going on a training program, or like if that big change you come out that no, it's not the right time, you can make little change that maybe later that big change will be the right time.
Yeah, so it's basically like if you can't make that big change right now, or you realize that it's quite a jump, then make that action plan. And it might not be a big step, but like Kim was saying, it might be a series of steps so you can accomplish that, or you can achieve that kind of feeling and get those benefits in a different way.
So pave your way up to there, up to where you want to go.
So we hope that you enjoyed today's video, and we hope that after watching this, when you're about to embark on a big decision, you use some of these tips and these strategies to really evaluate if this decision is going to be beneficial for you at this time.
So before we leave, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.